You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace. Hey loves, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to do a review of Love Hard featuring Nina Dobrev, Jamie O. Yang, Darren Barnet, Harry Shum Jr., Mikaela Hoover, and Heather McMahon or something. McMahon? Something. I don't know. But anyway, it starts off with Natalie, played by Nina Dobrev, going on a date with a guy she met online who was a catfish. Then she goes on a few more dates. Like she is hell bent on finding the perfect person for her. So she binge dates. Like she does a lot of online dating. She goes on all of these dates, but they don't work out for her at first. So she has a conversation with a coworker who tells her she needs to expand her radius over 5 miles. Like, the reason why this is not working out is because you're dealing with these local niggas. And ain't that the truth? Like, a lot of the times relationships don't work out when you only date people that you're around. Sometimes you gotta expand your horizons, like she said. So her boss interrupts their conversation and he asks her for his next story because she works at a magazine company. I guess this is like a common theme for me today. But she writes articles for this magazine, and most of her articles are about her dates and how terrible they are. So he's like, okay, where's the next story? Like, you haven't submitted nothing yet. I'm tired of waiting for you. And she tells him, like, I'm tired of writing about my relationship woes. Like, I want to write about something great. But he's like, girl, this is what you good at. That's why I hired you. That's what people read your articles for, to read about you complain about relationships. We don't want to hear that you want to do something different. And he tells her, write one ASAP and give it to me, or else. She comes across this profile that sparks her interest and begins chatting with the person. They hit it off well, so she tells her coworker about him. The coworker tells her it can be a catfish, so she forces her to call him. He answers the phone and turns out to be real. So they're like excited, like, okay, he real. Like, you found you a real person to talk to, or whatever. They get to know each other. They talk every day. They start falling asleep on the phone and waking up together. Her boss in the next scene calls her in the office for the next disaster date story. She tells him about her new relationship and asks if she can write about that. But he's like, I don't want to hear about no happy relationship, girl. We want to hear about you complain about these niggas. So either complain about these niggas or leave. But she proposes a story of a girl who finds the one just in time for Christmas, because this is a holiday story. I tried to stay away from Christmas stories, but it seems like that's all that's really out there. Like, Christmas is gone. I don't want to talk. I don't want to read about Christmas. But I also can't be mad because I do get on things late. Like, I do. So I can't be mad. But most of these stories are about Christmas. But she proposes it to him, and about this girl who finds the one just in time for Christmas. Then she plans to fly to New York to prove that this is an epic love story, and her boss is wrong about it being a catfish. Her boss doubts it, of course, but he allows her to go prove to herself that she is wrong. Like, I'll let you go, but it's only because you're wrong, and I want you to know that you're wrong. Like, girl, this is not what is giving. Like, you think that this is gonna be a great story. It's not. So Go ahead. I'm gonna show you that you're wrong. So she goes to New York. Her trip is already a disaster because she loses her bag and the car she orders isn't what she wants. But she gets it anyway. The driver ends up knowing the guy that she thinks she's dating. Um his name is Josh or whatever. And he's like, I know Josh. Like, I used to sell him weed. And he gives her a blunt. He's like, give this to him. Tell him I said, what's up? I miss him. So she shows up at his house and she asks to see him. And his mother invites her in and questions her about her relationship with him. And like she says, like, we're dating. And his family is like, Josh? Like, you dating Josh? You sure? Cause my Josh may not be the Josh you think that you're dating. Ain't no way my Josh got a girl that looks like you. But she's like, yeah, we're dating. Like, that's my nigga. Even though that's not really her nigga, like, they just be talking, and like she really was boosting their relationship up like they was in a relationship. But they're excited she's there because she introduces herself as more than a friend. And like, I'm like, girl, why would you do that? But anyways, so they tell her, wait for a while. Josh usually comes around this time. So, when he comes, we'll let him know that you here. So Josh gets there. Natalie sees that he's not who, like, his profile says he is. So when she sees him, she makes an excuse to leave and he runs after her. She hits him. She like, nigga, why you lie to me? Hits him for being a catfish or whatever. He tries to convince her to give him a chance and stay to talk. But she leaves and goes to a bar to get drunk. But while she's there, she sees the guy that Josh used to catfish her at the bar. So she calls her friend. She like, girl, that nigga really was a catfish. But I'm at the bar and I see the nigga that he used to catfish me. What should I do? And a friend like, girl, you better go talk to that nigga. Like, yeah, you got catfish, but this is a sign. You saw the nigga that he used to catfish you, so go talk to him. So she like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go talk to him. So she takes her little drink. She signs up to do a song for karaoke, and it's supposed to be Christmas songs, but she tells them to play some song that has nothing to do with Christmas. So she gets on the stage and she starts singing and performing and stuff. But whatever she drunk, because she took somebody else's drink, and she took 2 shots, whatever she drunk makes her have an allergic reaction. This is also a common theme. Are y'all like reading off of each other's papers? Are y'all cheating? Are y'all plagiarizing? These things are the same. Y'all cheating. Y'all in that, when they was on that strike, y'all was sharing notes. But anyways, she has an allergic reaction and like her face swells up. You can't even tell who she is. So the people in the bar are confused. Like, what is wrong with her? Why does she look like that? She looks crazy. Like, she making a fool out of herself while she's performing. And she like gets on his table and starts like dancing around and performing because she doesn't know that she looks the way she looks. They know, but she don't know. But while she's performing, like, there's a camera conveniently on, like, the side of the wall. And, like, she looks over and sees her reflection. And she don't like what she sees. So she panics. And she starts digging in her bag looking for the EpiPen. But she can't find it. So she goes outside. She goes outside and starts digging in her bag looking for the EpiPen, but she can't find it. But the dude that who catfished her found her, and she passed out, but he found her and he took her to the vet. When she woke up, she was at the vet, and like she like, where am I? And then she starts looking around. She like, did you take me to the vet? He like, yeah, but you're okay. Like, why you tripping? Like, you good. So they start talking, and he offers her to help her to get Tag, which is the dude that he used to catfish her. And if she pretends to be his girlfriend just for Christmas. So in exchange for him to get her with the guy that he used to catfish her, she agrees. She like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go back to your place. So like, she goes back to his room, and he gives her something to wear or whatever to put on. They talk about the catfish, and she pretty much like wants to know why he did it, and he tells her why he used his friend's pictures, but she like, it ain't no excuse for you to do it. He like, because women like you don't talk to me. He like, I tried to date women by using my profile, but nobody would talk to me. But as soon as I used his picture, a lot of women started talking to me. And he like, I wouldn't have been able to get you if I didn't look like that. And she like, whatever, nigga, ain't no excuse. I don't care why you did it. Ain't no excuse, and you not about to try to flip this on me. When really he was telling the truth. However, that don't give you the right to catfish somebody. That's crazy. But in the next scene, they have breakfast with his family, and the family starts asking them how they met. They make up a lie about how they met. Yeah, they make up a lie about how they met, and she starts lying about what attracted her to him and stuff like that. And his grandma is like, oh, y'all met online. So, and she like, well, y'all seem to be good at it. Like, I want y'all to show me how to do it. Set up my profile so I can start getting these niggas. And so she like, okay, cool. Like, I'll help you. Like, it's no problem. So Josh takes her skiing to impress Tag. He introduces her as his cousin. She pretends to like the things that Tag likes, just like Josh tells her to. So like, she talks about liking skiing and all of this adventurous stuff that she really doesn't like. She actually scared of heights and stuff like that. She's afraid to do half of the stuff that she pretended that she knows how to do. Tag invites them to climb a wall, but Natalie is afraid, so Josh teaches her. He took her to this like short, like little wall to teach her how to climb. And like, at first, she is like struggling. She can't even really do it. So he shows her how to do it or whatever. And then when they get back home, she finds Josh making candle making utensils in his room. And she asks him like, what is this? And he tells her his plan to create a candle line for men, strictly for men. And she encourages him to ask his dad for a loan because he said he didn't start it yet because he doesn't have the money to start his business. But he says his like, I'm not gonna do that. My dad would just make fun of me. My dad and my brother are like men, like manly men, and they'll make fun of me for making candles or whatever. And she like, whatever, nigga. I tried to help you. His brother arrives and is shocked that he's with Natalie. He tries to embarrass Josh in front of Natalie, but Natalie hates him. She's like, why would you even try to embarrass him in front of me? Like, I don't like niggas like you. So she plays her role. She's like, yeah, whatever, but I still love him. I still like him or whatever. She tells Josh, anytime this nigga try to steal the show, you steal it right back. Steal the spotlight right back from him. Don't let him have the spotlight because he just be trying. He's an attention seeker and you need to fight for your attention, basically. So the next morning, they go to the wall. Tag invites them to the climb. And it's a lot higher than what she thought. She thought it was going to be the same little wall that Josh taught her how to climb, but now it's like 3 times that height. And she starts freaking out. So Josh is like, okay, he put the little earbuds in her ear and like he gives her the music and he's like, listen to this so you can get up. And it actually works. Like, she actually gets all the way up the wall while she's listening to the music. But when she gets up there, she looks down and she's like, oh my god, I'm really up here, how am I gonna get down? And like he sees her panicking, she like lays on the wall and like is like panicking, so he like goes up to try to help her out. And like he helps her down. When she's down, Tag invites her on a date. He's like, okay, cool, like you really do this stuff, let's go on a date. So after he invites her on a date, they go back home and they go Christmas caroling with the family. Owen steals the spotlight as usual, reminding it reminded me of Step Brothers when like that whole scene of them going Christmas caroling reminded me of Step Brothers when like the older brother was on his way to the family house with his family and they were singing in the car and like he was stealing the show. Basically, he was talking about his wife because about her singing like it wasn't good enough or whatever. But it reminds me of that. But Josh steps up, he takes her advice and steps up and he volunteers to do a duet with Natalie. And they kill it. And Owen gets jealous and he's like, oh, they not going to upstage me, so I'm going to steal the spotlight again. So he does, and he like tells them that his fiance or wife or whatever is pregnant. Girlfriend, I think she's his girlfriend, announces that they're pregnant or whatever. So Josh is like, oh no, I'm not gonna let you win this. I would keep going. So he gets his attention back on himself. And Natalie is standing there like, what is you about to do? He gets on his knees and proposes to her. And she's looking at him like, nigga, I told you to steal a spotlight. I ain't told you to go this far though. You're tripping. But she accepts it. So she won't embarrass him in front of his family or whatever. But when they get back to the house, she fusses him out and she like, this is messed up, like I don't want to do this. But he's like, trust me, it's cool, like we pretended to get engaged, but in a couple of days we will stage a breakup and you can break up with me, so we won't have to go through with it or whatever. So he's like, trust me, but she's like, no, like I don't trust you actually. And she like leaves out of his room and she sees the dad like lighting the what's the thing, the fireplace or something like that. So she like stays and she like stands there and she's like, you need any help, like are you good, you need any help or whatever? And he's like, no, I got it. And like he tells her like, I'm so happy you're here with our family and I'm happy that you're going to be joining the family because you're a good person and I like you. And that kind of makes her feel bad for what she's doing. But of course, she can't come clean because they're in too deep. Now they're getting married. So, like, they're in too deep now. So, the next day, Tag and her goes on a hike and he surprises her. She's like, oh, this was fun. Like, I've never been on a hike before. I'm glad you asked me to go hiking with you. He was like, oh, this ain't the date. We about to go bobsledding. Like, you thought this was the date, but nah, this ain't the date. So she is afraid to go bobsledding. She calls Josh, but he doesn't answer the phone. So she remembers that she has the weed that dude gave her. She takes it out of her pocket and she smokes it so they can go bobsledding. And they go and like it was cool, it was fun. She's on a high or whatever when they get done. When she gets back to the house, Josh is making candles. He's mixing different scents or whatever. So she goes and she starts smelling them and like telling them what they smell like to her. And she comes across one distinct scent and she started describing it and he's like, that was inspired by my grandpa because that's how he used to smell. She's like, oh my God, that's so sweet. Like, you definitely should sell these. So later that night, their family goes to watch a movie together. And you know, while they're watching the movie, the mom pulls out the paper and she's like, y'all engagement announcement is going in the paper. Like, we about to announce this engagement. Like, we're so happy for y'all. So the next morning, the two of them go out and they collect all of the papers so nobody will see the engagement announcement. Well, so Tag won't see it because he lives in the town and it's a very small town. So they collect all of the papers so he won't see it. And the paper boy is like chasing them down, like, I'm gonna get y'all for getting my papers. But they like in his backseat hiding for the paper boy, and they like bonding over it, and they talking, they laughing, they really just like enjoying each other. And they don't even really realize it. Like, they're enjoying each other's company and they don't even realize that that's what's going on. And then the paperboy finds them and is like, I see y'all or whatever. Like, I'm gonna get y'all for getting my paper. So they jump in the front seat and drive off so they can escape him. Yeah, they go home. Oh, while they're talking in the back of the car, my bad, she compliments him. She's like, you know what? You're not a bad person. Like, if you would actually do this, do that, whatever, girls would like you. If you smiled more, if you have beautiful eyes, if you accentuated your eyes, if you smiled more, if you did this, if you did that, girls would actually like you. And he like, and then she like, promise me you gonna put up a real profile when this is over with and prove me wrong. Like, try my tips, and if they don't work for you, then I'll stop giving you a hard time about this catfishing. But anyways, when they go back to his house, she gets ready for her dinner with Tag, but she's missing out on the family is like making gingerbread houses or something like that. But so she goes on her date with Tag while they're making gingerbread houses. And while she's getting ready, Josh is like, I think you're going too far. Like, you're doing too much. Like, you're not even yourself. You going too far just to make this man like you. And she like, you can't talk because you did the same thing. And we are in this situation too. We're in this situation. Your family think that we're about to get married because you're lying. So don't try to tell me what I'm doing is wrong. And he was like, I didn't lie though. Everything I said about me was true. The only thing I lied about was how I looked. And she like, I did like you, but you were just a piece of fiction. And it kind of like proves him right in a way, because it's like, and she was like, yeah, and you liked me. He's like, everything about me was true and you liked me until you saw me, basically. And she was like, yeah, you was just a piece of fiction. But really, he wasn't a piece of fiction. He just didn't look. I don't understand this because I'm pansexual, so how a person looks doesn't really matter. So if I got catfished by somebody that I really like, if I saw them in person and they didn't look the way that I wanted them to look, would I be mad that they lied about how they look? Yeah. However, if I could get over it, because I kind of feel like the lie is what would make me not want to date them. Like, why would you lie? I'm not going to say that I'm going to date a catfish, even if they know who they are, because that's crazy. Because this person could be lying about so much more if they would make up all of this just to get you. I wouldn't be able to trust them, so I probably wouldn't date them. But it wouldn't be because of how they look that they don't look how I wanted them to look. I understand being attracted to a person physically and expecting them to look a certain type of way. So if you got catfish and you saw that they didn't look like that, I don't understand how all of your feelings would change, because my heart would be broken because I like you and now I can't date you because I can't trust you. But if you just would have told me how you look, I still would have liked you. I would be heartbroken for that reason. But y'all be heartbroken because they don't look how you thought they look. I don't really get that part. Because if you like them, why does it matter? I can understand being mad about the lie and not wanting to date them, because I would do the same thing because they lied. But it wouldn't be because they don't look like how I thought they were going to look, because I am not attracted. I don't experience physical attraction, so that doesn't matter to me. but I would be mad that they lied to me. But I don't understand how your literal feelings can go away from somebody just because they don't look how you thought that they looked. I don't get that part, because I would be mad because dang, I really did like you, but you lied to me, so now I can't even date you because you could be lying about so many other things. But it would be, I'm so mad because you don't look how you told me you look. I wouldn't even make no comment about that because I wouldn't care. I would be mad, and I also would be mad that you basically like the way that you felt like you had to lie to me about how you look because you thought that I care about looks. I'll be mad at that too, because now you judging me. Not only did you lie to get me to like you, but you also judged me without even knowing who I was. I'll be mad at that too. But I don't get how your feelings could go away from somebody just because they don't look how you thought that they looked. Like, I don't get that part, but go off, I guess. But he was right though. Like, you like me, so why you can't just like me? Basically, you like me, so why can't you just like me even though I don't look how you thought I looked? He had a good point. Like, why don't you like him? But anyway, she gets ready for her dinner with Tag, and Josh I already said that part. Okay, yeah. So she goes on her date with Tag. Josh goes and does like the gingerbread houses with his families. And Josh tells his family that she went, I forgot what he said that she went. She went somewhere. I don't know what he said. But he lies to his family about he tells his family that she went to the restaurant, but I forgot why he said she went there. But he didn't tell her the real reason why, of course, because she went on a date. So because he said where she was at, his brother is like, okay, cool. Well, I'll be back. I have to go do something so he can go and see what she's doing. And so he leaves to go and see what she's doing. And he rides by and he sees her with Tag. And he like, ooh, you dirty little, you cheating on my brother, basically. Because he feels like, oh, she lying. She ain't went to do whatever he said she was going to do. She doing something else and I'm about to find out. But while her and Tag are on her date, she realizes that they don't have anything in common, like nothing at all. He tells her he doesn't celebrate Christmas. He just started celebrating Christmas a couple of years ago or whatever. And it seems to turn her off. And then, but she kind of like tries to ignore it. Like, so on the drive there, they're talking about different things. And that's when she realizes that they don't have nothing in common. It seems to turn her off. But, and then like when she tells him not to park in front of Josh's house, but to drop her off like down the road or whatever. And they kiss. And she hates it. Like, it's a terrible kiss. Like, she hates it. So really, she don't even like this nigga. So when she gets there, she tries to apologize to Josh for what she said to him. Well, the morning after, she tries to apologize to Josh for what she said to him the night before. But Josh's grandma interrupts their conversation to ask them to talk to her friends at the nursing home about online dating. So they go with the grandma and they answer the people's questions. And like the people are like, okay, so what do I tell a person? So if I live in a nursing home, what do I tell them or whatever? And then they're like coming up with like different ways that they can like lie to people about the truth. And while they're up there, like there's Natalie and Josh is like, no, this is all wrong. Like they literally think it's okay to lie to people. And that's when Josh realizes how wrong he was for doing what he did. And he's like, it's like, no, y'all should be honest. Like, you shouldn't lie to somebody. And he's like, I know the insecurities that y'all have about being in a nursing home because I have my own insecurities about whatever. Like, basically telling them what made him catfish Natalie and telling them that they're not supposed to do it without actually telling them what happened. And after he gave his little speech, well, he takes accountability for lying to Natalie in his speech or whatever. But after that little speech was over, the elders were like, "Nigga, forget what you talking about. We finna lie. I'm not telling nobody I'm in no nursing home. I'm telling them that I live with my family. Like, I'm not about to say I live in a nursing home. I'm about to tell them that I'm old neither. Like, you tripping. We finna lie." And so after they leave the nursing home, the grandma, they're like walking down like downtown area or whatever, and the grandma just like takes off in another direction, and like they go after her because they're like, no, she going the wrong way. They go after her, and she leads them to their surprise engagement party. Her boss and Tag showed up. Tag doesn't know that Josh is engaged to her because they're cousins. So he thinks he's there to celebrate Josh's engagement to another girl, and the boss just popped up because he wanted to see how everything is going. So Owen speaks to her boss and finds out why she really came to New York. He tells Josh, and Josh is shocked. But before he gets to, because she was standing there in front while Owen was telling it, but before she gets to like explain herself, the dad interrupts their conversation to give a speech, and he's giving a speech about how happy he is that Natalie is going to be a part of the family, and he's happy for his son Josh to find somebody like her. She interrupts the dad's speech. She goes up and interrupts his speech and tells everybody what happened. Like, this is a lie. Like, we're really not together. He catfished me. Then we made a deal so he could help me get Tag, and like, it's all a lie. And she tells about how she only came there to write the article or whatever. Tag gets mad and storms off, and so does Josh. When he goes back home, Natalie leaves him a letter. When Josh goes back home, Natalie leaves him a letter, the ring his grandma gives him to propose, and lights his candle. Lights one of the candles. I think she likes the one about the grandpa so his family could smell it. It's kind of like helping him out in the process of her leaving. But she tells him not to be afraid to be himself, and that she was leaving and she was sorry for what happened. And his family is like consoling him, and tells him that, they're sorry that Natalie left and stuff like that. But the dad sees the candle, and Josh tells him it's no big deal at first. Then the dad picks up the candle, he sniffs it, and he's like, this smells like my dad. Like, how did you do this? And he like tells him how he did it or whatever. And then he was like, at first he was like, it's just a hobby, but then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop lying. It's not just a hobby. I really want to do this as a business. Like, this is a business idea. His dad is relieved that he wants to do something else, because he tells him that he was terrible working at the store that they own, because they own a outdoors type store that sell like those hiking stuff and stuff like that. And his dad told him that he was terrible at the store, so he's happy that he wants to do something else. And he encourages him to make his candles. So Natalie goes to the airport so she could go back home, but it's closed. So she goes to the bar. Her boss is there, and they start talking, and he like, why did you stay after finding out that he was a catfish? And she was like, well, he kind of like talked me into it, but he was like, no. The Natalie I know, as soon as something doesn't work out for her, she runs. So why did you stay? And she starts thinking about it. She like, why did I stay? Why didn't I just leave? Or whatever. And she like, it don't matter. And he like, that's the only thing that matters. Like, what you mean it don't matter? Like, that's the only thing that matters. Why you stayed? You need to figure it out. And then he leaves. So she goes to her hotel room and tries to write the article that about like how the whole situation like went wrong or whatever, but she's not able to write it. So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna write how I feel. And so she does that instead of trying to write the article that she was trying to write. She talks about what she learned about herself, what the visit made her learn about herself, and all of this stuff. And, you know, while she was in New York with Josh, and what he made her learn about herself and all of this stuff. But she stops in the middle of the article and is like, I actually like this nigga. Like, I like him. Like, so she goes to his house. She goes to, excuse me, you know how in those movies where, in the romance movies where they be showing up with like the big romantic gesture, she had like the cardboards where she writes to him how she feels on the cardboard. So she goes to his house and he comes out on the porch and she's holding up the signs and like she's letting him read them and stuff like that. His family comes out behind him and stands on the porch and watches them. So she tells him how perfect of a man she is for her. He is for her, and asks him to forgive her for taking so long to realize that she actually loves him. They kiss, and it ends with her spending Christmas with his family. The grandma asked them, oh yeah, it goes off with her spending Christmas with his family. Like, they're opening gifts. They in the corner kissing while they open their gifts and stuff or whatever. And then like the very end, the grandma asked them what's a dick pic, and it goes off right there. But the movie was good. It was funny. It was a pretty good romantic comedy, but it also talked about some themes that I also want to talk about. It explored the theme of like thinking we know what we want when sometimes what we need is right in front of us, dressed in something that we aren't looking for. Like, so you may want the perfect man, but the perfect man doesn't look how you want him to look. Maybe he isn't this handsome model looking nigga that can't read or something. Like, maybe he's a little nerdy dude that like works at the library with you or something. I don't know. But basically, sometimes what you think you want is not what you need. It's not what you should go after. Sometimes what you need is right in front of you. Sometimes what you need is not this thing that you've put on a pedestal. Maybe it's something that you need to look closely for a lot of the times. Like I was talking about earlier, like I can't imagine that my feelings for somebody is gonna go away because they don't look how I wanted them to look. Because number one, I don't have an expectation for how a person should look. Anyway, anybody that I date, I don't have a type. So I can literally date anybody. Like, so I'm not going to not like somebody because they don't look how I thought they were going to look. I'm still going to have them feelings. Like, I really don't understand how y'all feelings just go away like that. Like, I'm not wired like that. So it be confusing to me. But anyways, I give this movie a 7 out of 10. I think it was pretty good. I do think that it is worth watching. Like, Christmas is over, but y'all can still watch Christmas movies. Because why not? I don't like Christmas movies. I'm not even gonna lie. The only reason why I watched that because it was romance. And I tried to focus more so on the romance than the Christmas, if that makes sense. I hate Christmas movies because they all end the same way. They all have the same synopsis. They all are the same story. And it just be boring to me. So I don't watch them. But yeah, I give this a 7 out of 10. But thank y'all for watching this review. if y'all have seen this movie, let me know what y'all think about it. But if y'all watch it after watching this, come back and let me know what you think about it. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Before you go, check out my website at srgraham.org and subscribe to my mailing list to get exclusive updates on works in progress, other news, and blog posts. Thank you.